Did you ever do radio? Did you ever try that or think about that?
You know what?
Never
No.
once?
No.
Do you want to spin discs? Ever want to do that, anything like that?
I always wanted to act. I wanted to act since I was 10 years old.
Who was the one that you growing up saying, you know what, I want to be like?
God, there was so many. Sydney, of course.
Poitier.
Sidney Poitier. I'm sorry. I talked
That's
to. I'm
okay.
so familiar with these names.
You're talking to people here like you could name any Sydney in sports. They'll probably be like, okay, that one. Could. You never know sometimes, but
yeah, but Sidney Poitier. Not honest to goodness. Mm-hmm. I had these three guys on my wall, along with Spider Lockhart and all my football heroes.
Okay.
And that was Branda. Mm-hmm. And Sir Laurence Olivier.
Okay.
And
so you had the Brandos, Sir Laurence Olivier,
and I swear,
Sidney Poitier, like
and I swear,
card set? Is that what you had?
I swear on a stack of Bibles, man, yeah. I had no idea how famous these guys were, except I loved them.
Sure.
Because nobody in my family was into movies and theater in that way. And the movies I saw of them and the movies I liked turned out to be classics. So I knew. And I played football, baseball,
sure.
Ran track. I did all that stuff,
So Spider Lockhart and Laurence Olivier.
Oh man, I wanted to be an NFL defensive back.
Deep. Well, you would have been. I mean, how tall? You're.
I'm
like
6'4".
That's like Mel Blount height, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I probably would have moved to safety.
Probably just so you could come downhill and yes.
Yeah, so guys used to make fun of me for being in acting, so I get them in practice because I was a defensive end.
So you were rushing the passer in high school. Is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I used to put rib cages on my locker.
What do you mean?
Because that's where I used to hit them. Yeah.
So you put rib cages on your locker?
Yeah, they stamp them. Because I used to wipe out quarterbacks.
Oh. And what was your baseball game like?
My baseball game was pretty good, but I didn't play in high school. I played like recreational league in Babe Ruth.
Okay.
And I used to pitch.
Pitch
as
well.
Pitch and hit. Yeah.
So what was your pitching game like?
The pitching game was pretty good. I mean, I didn't. I was a heavy ball. I didn't know. I had no idea how fast I was throwing.
Huh.
But people used to say, "Man, you got a heavy ball."
So when we're watching you swing in Major League as Pedro Serrano,
yeah,
is that your swing?
That's my swing.
Huh.
Oh, and I don't know if we ever talked about this, but every ball I hit out, I hit out. Except not as far as they shot it out because they had to reverse the cameras.
Hold on a second, Dennis Haysbert. How many home runs did you hit?
I hit 3 in the movie, right? I think I hit 3 in the movie. I hit every one of them. I hit out.
Okay. And all the batting practice, you.
I used to hit. Oh yeah, I used to hit routinely.
So were you the best hitter of all the actors?
I would say so. So Charlie and I were the only guys that could really play baseball. Wesley was really athletic.
Okay.
And could run, but wasn't much of a hitter.
He couldn't hit, but could Charlie hit, or he was just...
Charlie could hit, and Charlie could pitch.
But you went yard more than anybody else in the cast of Major League.
Except for the guys, the baseball guys that were out there.
So who was the worst?
Oh, I can't. I won't say that.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. That microphone works. Corbin Burnson, could he?
Corbin was okay. I think Tom Berenger was like maybe the worst.
Kidding.
Yeah. I love you, Tom. He forced it out of me, man.
Were you superstitious as well? Are you a superstitious guy?
Not really, but I realized how superstitious baseball players are.
There is no doubt.
I mean, I used to have a lot of guys come up to me and say, hey man, we used to play this movie on the bus going to the game, and I set firecrackers off on our bats to to wake them up.
Did anybody have rum? Did anyone incorporate?
They
rum?
started using that. A lot of guys said they started.
Baseball players started using rum. Do you have Dennis Haysbert here on the Rich Eisen Show? Do you have any artifacts from the film anywhere?
I finally got a Jobu doll. I don't have the original because I wanted to get rid of that because, that was voodoo I was practicing. And I said, you know what? Certain things you got to leave on the set. And somebody took that, and I don't know where they are now because I haven't heard from them again.
Right.
So they took a voodoo doll, man. I said, okay.
No kidding.
No.
Dennis,
so I have a facsimile.
You have a facsimile of Jobu.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.